You were cooking lunch with the help of the maids. It had been a week since you were pretending to be a good wife to gain his trust. You now knew the every corner of the mansion. You knew when to the guards change their shift. You had a perfect plan to run from there, but you were just waiting for a perfect occasion. You slowly stirred the soup, boiling it to the perfect density. The maids started leaving one by one. You sighed when you felt two arms sliding on your waist. "What are you making, princess?" he said as he placed his chin on your shoulder. You forced out a smile. "Chicken noodle soup." You turned off the stove. He swirled your body towards him. "You don't have to do this. I have plenty of people to do these works." He tucked the loose tresses of hair behind your ear. "But I like to cook for my husband." You smiled, trying your best to look genuine. He chuckled. You didn't leave any room for argument. He planted a kiss on your forehead when you closed your eyes. You never resisted his kisses, and thankfully he didn't cross his limit either. Just few forehead kisses and some hugs. "Let's have lunch, princess." You smiled and nodded. You served the food in two plates. "Why two plates?" "We are two, so two plates for us. One is enough." He picked one plate and pulled you towards the dining table. "Sit here, princess." He made you sit on a chair and sat beside you. He put the spoonful of food in front of your mouth. "I can eat." "I know, but I want to feed my wife. Now open your mouth." You ate the food. He first filled your stomach and then ate his food. If the situation were different, you would have definitely fallen for his sweet gestures, but you knew he was nowhere near sweet. "Princess, you are again staring." You smiled and looked away, controlling yourself from rolling your eyes. "I'm leaving. I have some work." He wiped his lips with a tissue. Turning towards you, he placed a pack on your temple. "Take care and do not step outside the house." "Yeah?" You gulped in fear and nodded with a small smile. He smiled back and patted your head. "Good. I'll be late today. Have your dinner on time." "Okay." Kissing your forehead for the last time, he left from there. You saw his car driving away from the window. You smiled in happiness, finally getting the awaited opportunity. The maids were cleaning upstairs. It was 2 in the noon, means there would be no guards on the front door for at least half an hour. It was the perfect time to run from there. No one would know, and until the devil be back, you would already be far away from this hell. You rubbed your palms in excitement. Your heart was beating very fast. You bit your lower lip, tiptoeing towards the door like a thief. You held the doorknob, slowly twisting it. Your heart swelled in happiness when you found it unlocked. Tears of happiness flowed from your eyes when you felt a little hope of break free from there. You opened the door and peeped outside, and to your luck, there was no one. You escaped from the house. Your eyes fell on the front door, which was unguarded. There was a few meters gap between you and your freedom. Your eyes shone when you saw the door of your freedom, the peaceful life that was waiting for you from the other side of the door. "Just few steps, Swan, just few steps." You joged towards the door with fast steps. Your smile widened as you saw the distance reducing with every step. You felt like an excited bird. Finally, you were going to be free. When you were about 2 meters away from the door, you felt a tug on your wrist. Your smile dropped, and a look of horror took over your face. You wiggled, trying to free from the tight grip, looking at the door with yearning. "Leave me, let me go." You cried out, struggling to free yourself. "What did I say about escaping? I warned you, didn't I?" He tightened his grip on your wrist, pulling you towards him. You collided with his chest, but you still didn't stop wiggling. "Let me go. I don't want to leave here." You hiccuped, stammering on your words. "Shut up." You flinched badly and looked at him. He glared at you with dark eyes which were blazing with anger, and you knew you had awakened the beast. He threw your small body on his shoulder, walking back inside the house. You wiggled, hitting on his back with your small fist, but your small and weak blows had no effect on his giant body. Leave me. You are a monster. I don't want to leave here. Monster, let me show you what this monster can do. The maids gathered in the living room hearing you scream. They looked at you with pity. You had created a bond with them in the past week. They looked at you helplessly because they knew interrupting him means inviting death. And they didn't want to die. Coming inside the bedroom, he threw you on the bed, hovering over you. Pinned your hands on the bed, looking deadly in your eyes. You wiggled to free from him, sobbing loudly. What did I tell you, huh? Do not try to escape, didn't I? He gritted out, holding your both hands with one hand and grabbed your jaw with the other hand, making you look at him. You sobbed and looked at him with your wet eyes. More tears fell from the corner of your eyes, soaking the pillow beneath your head. Do not blame me because you call this yourself. He opened the side drawer, still glaring at you, and pulled out a thick rope. Your eyes widened in horror. No, you can't do this. I'm not doing anything. You are making me do this, he said, tying your hands and legs to the bedpost. You tried to move away from him, but of course, he was way stronger than you. Do you think of me as a fool? I knew it when you suddenly changed your behavior, being all nice with me. I knew something was going on in the small brain of yours. But, Princess, when I said I have my eyes on your every move, I meant it. Do you think I'll go to office leaving you here so that you can escape? I was monitoring your every movement. Now enjoy being tied up here. You are not allowed to step outside this room. You will be locked up here. The only human you will see is me from now on. Even those maids are not allowed here. Why are you doing this to me? You didn't leave me any other choice. I told you to accept your fate, but you decided to play with me. But baby, you forgot one thing, that I am the ruler here. I make the rules here. You thought you were playing with me? No, I was letting you play. He smirked, standing in front of you. You cried helplessly. Now stay like this. He turned around to leave, but you decided to dig your own grave. I hate you. He turned around and looked at you with hard expression on his face. Come again. He clenched his jaw and whispered in his deep voice, sending chills to your body. He was looking scary, and you were scared, but you didn't back off. I hate you. He moved closer to you, one step and the other step, and stopped when he was standing just in front of you. He bent down to your level and held your hair, tugging them to raise your face to his level. I dare you to say that again. I hate you, I hate. The words muffled in his mouth when he smashed his lips on yours. Your eyes widened and you tugged on the rope, struggling to push him away. He was nowhere gentle. He was basically eating your lips. You whimpered when he bit your lips, oozing out blood. Your lungs swelled up due to lack of oxygen, but he wasn't ready to leave you. Your face turned red and you wiggled to get away from him. After a few seconds, he finally left your lips. You gasped, trying to inhale the much needed air in your lungs. He tugged on your hair, making you look at him. You got some guts to talk back to me. Just look at yourself. You are tied up on my bed. You are under my mercy. I can do anything I want and I don't need your consent before doing anything. I can take you right here, right now, and nobody can stop me, not even you. Your heartbeat accelerated in fear and you struggled to breathe evenly. Your chest heaved up and down as you tried to calm your racing heart. Think before doing anything, because I won't take a second to break my promise to ask for your consent next time. You won't be tied up next time. You're screaming for me to stop and I'll some senses in your brain. Last warning. You jerked on your spot, hearing his threatening voice. You were terrified. Left your hair rubbing the spot gently. Understood? You unconsciously nodded like you were under a spell. You stood up straight. He tugged on your wrist, crying silently. Don't. You will hurt yourself more. You stopped and sat there like a statue. He walked towards the door but turned back, pointing his finger at you. Remember, princess, last warning. He glanced at you for a few moments before leaving from there. You broke out in loud sobs as soon as he was gone. You curled yourself, hiding your face in your knees. You cried, knowing there was no escape from there. You were actually stuck, and after the stunt you pulled off, you knew he won't leave you alone, not for a second. At that time, you just wished for death. That would be your freedom from the cruel world, especially from him. Jimin came in the room at midnight. You were already sleeping. He sighed, seeing tear stains on your cheeks. He untied the ropes and gently cased the red marks on your limbs. Opening the side drawer, he brought out an ointment and applied it on your bruise. He lay beside you and stared at your face. He removed the hair which were falling on your face. He gently pulled you closer to his body and kissed your forehead. Why are you so stubborn, princess? I really don't want to hurt you. I don't like what I did with you today. I can't let you go. I'll I'll go crazy if you left me. I'm addicted to you. He whispered gently, stroking your hair, and closed his eyes, falling into deep slumber. You groaned and opened your eyes, which were paining because of how much you cried last night. You looked at yourself. The ropes weren't there anymore. The bed was empty, but his cologne lingered in the air means he was there. Slide down the bed and moved to the bathroom to wash off your body and your thoughts. You came out of the bathroom freshly showered. He was sitting on the couch. A tray of breakfast was placed on the table in front of him. You didn't look at him and silently moved to the vanity and dried your hair. You knew he was observing your every move, but you acted like you were alone in the room. Come here, princess. His deep voice fell on your ears. You silently went towards him and sat beside him. Your eyes were down the whole time. Your face was devoid of any emotion. He forwarded a morsel towards your mouth and you ate it without any protest. All the time his eyes were stuck at you, yearning for your one glance. But you were looking at the floor, eating the breakfast silently. He ate his breakfast after feeding you. He brought the ointment and applied on the bruise on your limbs. Is it hurting, princess? He looked at you while you shook your head. He sighed and held your hands in his. Look at me, he asked softly, and you lifted your gaze from floor to him. He glanced at Joe, thinking that he shouldn't have asked for it. Your dull face and lifeless eyes directly stroked on his heart. He felt something he never ever felt before. Not even when he was killing people, not when he was beating and torturing them without any mercy. You were really something that just a mere bruise on your body filled the ruthless mafia with guilt. He looked away, not being able to hold eye contact with your eyes, which drowned him in the deep ocean of regret. He left from there without saying anything. 2 weeks passed after that incident. You had changed yourself completely. You were like a human robot. You did what he said to you. You didn't utter a single word, just nod your head in yes or no. It felt like you were just breathing. You had lost yourself completely. You were like a living corpse. It would be a lie if someone said that your behavior didn't affect him. It shook him completely. He was devastated. He was contented when you were fighting back with him, when you were showing what you felt. He missed the old wine. He missed your care and smile, though he knew that was fake, but he wished that was real. He wished you both were like normal couples. He wished to take you out on dates like other husbands do, but he knew there was anything but normal between you both. He tried to shrug off the emotions he felt, which were totally out of context of which he had been taught till now. He was taught to be strong in every situation, but these emotions were making him weak, making him feel like begging to you for a smile, kneeling down in front of you and begging you for forgiveness, begging to be like before, begging to accept him, begging to live a life like a normal human, not like a dead body. Sometimes his inner soul mocked him for what he was thinking. He was the one responsible for everything, and now he suddenly wanted everything like before. He was a selfish monster. He kidnapped you and married you forcefully because he wanted you to be his, and now he wanted you to behave normal like nothing happened after ruining your life. He came inside the room holding a tray of dinner. Of course, he did what he said. He locked you inside the room, cutting you off from the outside world. No waits were allowed. He was the one who brought you food. He was just counting days, waiting for your demise. He sighed when he saw you sitting on the floor, looking outside the window in the same position he left you in the morning. He gulped the lump that formed in his throat and walked towards you. He sat down in front of you and placed the tray in between you both. Dinner time, princess. As always, he fed you and you ate silently without looking at him, without any protest or word. He ate after feeding you. Do you want to go outside? He kissed your head, but you didn't reply. You were just staring at the moon through the window. Do you want to go to the amusement park or a movie? Do you, princess? He sighed when you still didn't reply. His guilt was eating him from inside. He successfully ruined the girl with whom he thought he was obsessed, but in reality, these feelings were far away from obsession. These were so pure and sane to be named as obsession, something so pure called love. But as he said, he was a devil to understand those angelic emotions. He picked you up in bridal style and you let him. He lay you down on the bed. Rounding the bed, he came to the other side and lay down beside you. He pulled your head to lay on his chest and rubbed your back. Sleep, princess. You closed your eyes, inviting the sleep, but he was fully awake. He craned his neck and kissed your forehead. I'm sorry, he whispered, resting his chin on your head. His phone vibrated in his pocket. He reached out for his phone and picked up the call. Boss, we got the man who was spying on us. I'm coming. He gently untangled himself from your body, not wanting to wake you up. He shifted you in the middle, lying you down comfortably. He placed a pillow beside you and covered your figure with the duvet. He sat beside you, staring at you with different emotions, kissed your cheeks and kissed your forehead before leaving from there. You frowned in sleep when you heard some faint noise. You opened your eyes and saw that Jimin wasn't beside you. The sound was coming from the backyard. You got up and went near the window and looked outside. The lights of the backyard were on. You saw a man running while stumbling on his steps. He was drenched in blood. Your breath quickened, saying blood. Horror fell inside you when you saw that his fingers were cut off and blood was oozing out from his hands. You gasped loudly. You heard a loud gunshot and the man fell on the ground. He was shot in the middle of his forehead. The scene was horrible and a direct stroke on your limbic system. You felt goosebumps all over your body. You felt alive again. Your heartbeat accelerated when you saw the person who shot him. It was Jimin. He just killed a person and there was not an ounce of guilt on his face, like it was just a normal routine thing for him. He killed him. He's a monster. He'll kill me too. I need to go. I need to escape from here. You whispered it to yourself. Your body was trembling badly while tears were cascading from your eyes non-stop. You flinched when Jimin looked up. His eyes met yours. You saw his eyes widen and he rushed inside. You stepped back. He's coming. He'll kill me. You murmured to yourself and ran towards the door, stumbling on your steps. You were breathing heavily. You collided with the table and fell down. Your forehead bumped on the corner of the table. You whimpered in pain. You took the support of the table and stood up. You wobbled towards the door. Your eyes dropped as black and white dots appeared in front of your eyes. You were losing consciousness. You felt your body falling freely, but it didn't hit the ground. Instead, you felt yourself being lifted up before you passed out completely. You squinted your eyes when sunlight fell on your face. Slowly opened your eyes and groaned when a sharp pain smote in your head. You held your head when you felt a bandage on your forehead. You frowned your eyebrows in confusion, but your head beat fastened when you recalled the last night's incident. You witnessed a murder last night. You craned your neck and saw him sleeping in sitting position. You sat up straight and got off the bed immediately. You limped on your spot as your head spun. You looked at him with hatred-filled eyes. I have to go. I can't live with him. You mumbled, breathing heavily at his words, getting suffocated for you to share the same roof. Your eyes fell on the nightstand where his car keys were placed. You grabbed them and stepped towards the door. You held the doorknob. Please God. Your eyes shone with hope as the door opened. You hurriedly stepped outside and ran from there without looking back. Jimin's eyes shot open as he heard the door being shut with a thud. He jolted up when he didn't find you beside him. He checked the bathroom, but you weren't there as well. He went out of the room, cursing himself when he found the door being unlocked. He peeked in the living room from upstairs. He saw Wine running towards the entrance. Princess, stop! He shouted and rushed towards your direction, but you paid no heed to his words and kept running from there. You came out of the house. You saw his car parked just outside. You could hear him shouting from behind. You unlocked the car and settled down on the driver's seat. You started the engine, but there was one more obstacle, the big wooden door. You stepped on the accelerator and drove towards the door. Your car broke through the door. The windshield glass shattered into small pieces due to impact, and some of them pierced through your skin, but you could care less at that time. Meanwhile, Jimin rushed out and saw you driving away. Jackson, get the car! Jackson brought out another car. He himself settled on the driver's seat, following behind you. You drove at full speed. The road was empty as the house was situated outside the crowded city. It was drizzling, so the roads were slippery. From the rearview mirror, you saw him following you in another car. You could hear him shouting at you to stop, but your mind was clouded with only one thing, going away from him. You stepped on the accelerator trying to speed up the car even more, but you lost control of the car. The car skid on the wet road and collided with the railings on the roadside. The railings broke down and the car fell off the cliff into the river.